Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Nur Alia Batrisha binti Nur Zalimi. I'm from the IB2A. My ID number is SIB 24030036.
Hi, my name is Wankaula Fakihah binti Wanji and my ID number is SIB24030044 and I am from the IB2A.
So today we will be present about impact on the economy and stock market due to boycotts related to war. So we chose the Walt Disney for this assignment. So here's the content that we will be discussed today. Boycott can significantly impact the economy and stock market, especially for major companies like the Walt Disney Company, which was affected by the 2023 Hamas-Israel conflict. In this assignment, we will analyze daily closing stock prices for 50 days before and during the war, using data from Yahoo Finance. This analysis will highlight changes in closing stock prices in the company. Additionally, we will examine the market sectors and choose the technology sector, which holds the largest market share. We will identify the number of industries, the number of companies, and the largest company in each industries. Next, the objective for this assignment. First, to analyze the impact of boycotts. We can understand how boycott affect the stock in the company. Next, to examine stock price trends. So, we will evaluate daily closing stock prices for 50 days before and 50 days during the war. After that, to identify price variations, which means we will examine the changes in closing stock prices for the Walt Disney Company and understand shifts in market perception regarding to the Walt Disney Company. So next, to analyze technology sector, which means we will identify number industry and companies within this sector. And lastly, to highlight major companies, we will identify the largest company within technology sector to understand their market influence and potential impact on the Walt Disney Company performance. Next, we will be proceed with data presentation. For qualitative data, we choose the technology sector. So, this is the frequency table for the technology sector. There are 12 industries in this sector and the total number of the companies is 811 in technology sector. Next, we proceed with the bar chart. As we can see here, the frequency of software application company is the highest and they have over 261 companies, while the electronics and computer distribution is the lowest, which is only have 10 companies. Here, we can see in this pie chart, the frequency of software application company is 32%, while the frequency of electronics and computer distribution company is only 1%.
So here's a formula for group frequency table before the wall that we use to get the number of class, which is log 50 over 2, so we get 5.64 and we will round off is 6. And for the class width, we use this formula to get the total, which is 3.44. According to the histogram, frequency curve and ogive graph, the highest frequency in histogram would correspond to the interval or plus with the tallest bar, which is 92.60 to 96.03. The lowest frequency corresponds to the interval with the shortest bar, which is 102.92 to 106.35.
So for frequency polygon before the war, the highest midpoint is USD 94.32, while the lowest midpoint is USD 104.64.
So for the ogive graph, the highest value can be found where the curve reaches its maximum. the rightmost point representing the cumulative total, which is 109.80 to 113.23. The lowest value is at the start of the curve, the leftmost point representing the first cumulative frequency, which is 89.16 to 92.59.
So next, we will be proceed with group frequency table during the war. So this is the formula that we use to get the number of class, which is log 50 over log 2, we get 5.64, and when we run off, we will get 6. And for class width, we use this formula to get the total, which is 2.80. So as you can see here, for histogram, frequency polygon, and ogive during the war, the closing stock prices for USD 82.12 to 84.91 has the highest frequency, which is 14, while 87.72 to 90.51 has lowest frequency, which is 3. For frequency polygon of 50 days during the war, the highest point is USD 83.52, while the lowest midpoint is USD 89.12. The cumulative frequency of 50 days during the war, the starting point is USD 69.52 to USD 72.31 and end at USD 93.32 to USD 96.11. Next, we will be discussing about data analysis. For mean, we use this formula to get the final answer. So, as you can see from the table, the average stock price decreased from USD 101.96 to USD 87.16, which indicating a significant drop in stock prices. For mode, we use this formula to get the answer. The stock price dropped from USD 95.18 to USD 82.92, so it shows that the most common stock price is dropped to a lower value. For median, we use this formula to get the final answer. The median also decreased from USD 100.07 to USD 85.62, shows that stock prices fell during the war.
Quartile 1 before the war is 96.44 and quartile 1 during the war is 82.62.
For quartile 3, we will use this formula to get the final answer. So, for quartile 3 before the war, it is USD 107.56, meaning that 75% are less than USD 100.56 and remaining 25% are more than USD 107.56. Same goes to during the war, the 75% are less than USD 92.17 and the balance of 25% are more than USD 92.17. Next, distribution skewness. Based on the calculation for mean, mode, and median, distribution is skewed to the right, which means it is positively skewed distribution for both data, which is before and during the war. As the diagram shows, the mean before the war is higher than the mode, which is USD 101.96 against USD 95.18. While during the war, the mean is also higher than the mode, which is USD 87.16 compared to USD 82.92.
Standard deviation before the war is 6.01 and standard deviation during the war is 5.14. This shows how much the stock price varied around the mean during both period.
So for Pearson measure of skewness, we use this formula to get the both answer. As we can see, the skewness for both are positive and the distribution are right skewed. If we both compare skewness during the war, has more symmetric distribution compared to before the war.
The CV calculation is CV equals 6.01 over 101.96 multiply 100 equal 5.89%. So during the war, the standard deviation is 5.15 and the mean X is 87.16. This information tells us that the relative variation in stock price was very similar before and during the war, which around 5.9% variation in both periods. For recommendation, as we know, the Walt Disney Company is facing a boycott due to its perceived support for Israel, which is affecting its public image. To address this, there are a few steps the company can take. First of all, Disney could donate to a reputable humanitarian organization in Palestine, showing that they care about the people affected and are sensitive to the issue. This would help rebuild trust with stakeholders who are critical of their stance. Secondly, they could create more inclusive and diverse content by telling stories that represent different cultures, including those from Palestine. This could help people better understand the experience of the other and show that Disney cares about humanity, not politics. And last but not least, Disney could issue a public apology to acknowledge any action that may have upset people and clarify that they never intend to take side in the conflict. By doing that, so they can show they are listening and commit to rebuilding trust and relationship. For conclusion, based on our finding, the Walt Disney Company saw a clear decline in stock price during the war. The average price dropped from USD 101.96 to USD 87.16, with both the median and mode also decreasing, showing an overall downturn in stock market value. The first and third quartile fell as well, indicating that the entire range of stock price shift downward. Although stock price dropped, the standard deviation decreased slightly, meaning there was less variability in price during the war. Interestingly, the coefficient of variation stayed almost the same, showing that the relative risk remained stable. The skewness became less extreme, meaning prices were more evenly distributed with fewer high outliers. Overall, while Disney's stock took a hit, the risk and variability remain consistent and the price distribute become more balanced. That's all from me, Kaula Fakiha and Alia Patricia. Thank you for watching.